I'd really like to explain more of how I'm finding these picks through the system and how this works. So here are the picks from today. You'll see that we had right out of the gates, ARRY ran about 20%, still hitting its head on the top here. And looks like the two worst were right here around 10:05. Obviously, I got to edit the format of this time. It doesn't have a 0 before the 5, but the 10:05, 10:15. And what I found is that during this time is probably the most dead time to trade. Maybe I'll cancel the trades during that time, or just make note of it that it's usually a dead time. That between 9:33, 9:32, and about 10:10 is a great time to find those trades when something's really going to run. It's going to be volatile during that time, of course, too, because it's during the open, especially today it's Monday. But those are the ones that seem to perform best. Right now, looks like a new trade just came out for SORL. Let me go check that one out. Ooh, that does look good. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna put in a little bit here. See if we can get filled at that range. We'll grab a couple of the market too here. You can tell when it's really pushing up towards the high of Friday's close. Could really push right through that. So what I liked, why did I jump right in that one? I love the push of volume here. A lot of dollar volume happening. Right at its high of the day. It's way above average volume. Something weird's happening. Doesn't seem like any major news is out on it yet. Might get filled on that second order. Wait on that one. So another one I like is another thing that if you're trading in this range, it's good to have done some research on what symbols run. And the way you do the research on that is that you look at stocks between, in this range, which is I think $1 to $20 is what I'm doing, and look at something that when it runs for 1 to 2 days between 20 and 50%. It has that chart where it pops way up and then kind of settles back down. Volume dries up, and then all of a sudden there's a day where volume just goes crazy again. So when it starts to do that, you want to be ready for it. And it looks like, here's an example of SORL. And I'll zoom out on the chart a little bit here. And yeah, so it popped, dried up, went down to here, and then ran heavy again, almost making it to $5. And here it's starting to dry up again, and it's starting to pop again. So we'll keep our eye on this one. So definitely, I'm hoping to get filled again on this one, because if it breaks through that 3.9 area, so what usually happens here is that after it has this, it might kind of consolidate sideways, might retest like 3.7 here before going higher. So you kind of have to be patient for that, but then be aware that if it breaks down and really heavily falls below 3.4, then that's when you just want to give up. Alright, right now I'm going to take some profits. If it does come up and test $4. Alright, so it's staying strong here on the 5-minute change. Definitely a lot of great volume in it. Pushing up towards the high, very low flow. Very, very low flow. So these two that I've just traded, OPTT, which I've already cashed out about $200 worth on that, and SORL here at 8 float. I think those are in the thousands or millions. I'll have to look that up. But it's basically anything below 200 is a low float, and anything below 100 is extremely low float. So definitely moves fast when there's volume. And so the screen that you're looking at here, to explain it again, is the advanced screener tool on Get Stock Ideas. And this has the only alerts filter on. So it takes away any stocks that haven't been alerted yet today and filters them out. So you're only looking at the alerts that have come out today. So it really filters down, instead of looking at thousands of stocks, you're only looking at about 10 to 20 each day. All right, so it looks like we're getting that push up towards that high. Might break out of 3.9 here. Looks like there's some good volume coming in still. And this is another thing I like, is that where the chart gets kind of choppy, like there's not much happening. There's people buying and selling, but it's nothing drastic. And then all of a sudden there's big green, big movements. And even before that, this is nice where it kind of pushes to a low and people just give up. And then all of a sudden it comes back up, and those people here are like, oh no, I got to get back in. So that kind of panic is usually what moves the price drastically. All right, looks like AARY is pushing up toward that high of the day again. This was another good one today, AMKR, nothing as crazy as 20%, but still had a nice run there. Another bucket of trades that just came in for SORL. And for those of you that have asked the question, this is TD Ameritrade's platform, Thinkorswim, where I'm doing this charting and entering these trades. Looking like it's got to pick a direction here. It might plop down for a minute or break to that high. Let's see. Another interesting thing to note is look at the top 3 ones here. You can kind of see that there's something going on where likely in the markets right now, these are producer manufacturing is their sector. All 3 of these, if you mouse over that, you'll see they're all producer manufacturing, and they're all pushing up towards their high. So people obviously are looking to see that there's big news in the market, maybe in that sector, and they're looking to put money in something that can move really fast. So high amount of leverage, if you will. So usually that's a good sign when there's multiples in the same sector coming through, because it means money in the market is pushing towards that sector, and anything with a very low flow will take that money and really push the price of the stock. Okay, here's our push back down, might retest this level. Might grab a few more here at 3.7. It does. All right, so this is a time, like I said, where there's a pop in the price and then it might retest the low. Okay, boring time is over. Getting another push back up here. I tried to grab some if it did fall to that low. Looks like it's trying to bounce back up there. It's kind of some weakening volume here. It might still come back down. All right, good push of volume happened here. Tick range here. Oh, another shipping, transportation index here. TOPS, that's a popular one. Very thin stock that tends to pop drastically. Let's take a look. That's possible. It's possible. I mean, this is one where if I wasn't already in 2 stocks right now, I might grab some of it here with a stop, probably down near 3, and add to it in this range. Doesn't look like it's really taking over with its movement up here yet, so I'm not a huge fan of that pattern. Now, here we go. A little bit of pullback here. Definitely people getting bored with the action. Definitely some profit takers though. Hitting the resistance area there, 3.9. Oh, there goes Q. All right, place my order back in here to grab 1,000 more shares. If this does break down, which I mean, it might just be flagging sideways, consolidating in this 3.7 area. Okay. would not be too surprised if it does that. Because if we look at, zoom out a little bit more here, that's kind of ending up being where most of the chart is kind of going sideways in that range. So if it does pull back down to that area, I'll be glad to grab a few more. Tops is still doing what Tops does, is hardly move and then all of a sudden move drastically. This is the kind of stocks you like to find on the momentum screener, where they've done this, boring everyone to death, and then all of a sudden the volume comes back in, they roar back up again. So hopefully you try to get that move. What I like to do also is that you get part of that move, makes a drastic move throughout the day of maybe a quick 5 to 10%. You sell half your position, maybe 2/3 of your position, and then you leave the rest in with a stop at break even. So then if it does happen to just keep roaring up like this did for a few days in a row here, where it went up 200%, you're able to at least get a good chunk of that as profit too. Looks like OPTT, yeah, you know me, might be coming back up to 3.8 area here. Little lips in the chart here, starting to move up there. Let's see. It's one of those ones, like I was just saying, that I've already taken half off the table. It already ran a nice move for me, and kind of loosen up my stop to let the rest of it run a little bit, just in case it has a crazy up day for a few days. All right, starting to get some movement here again on SORL. Huge order go through there. A lot of fills on the times and sales over there on the right here. It doesn't really mean too much until it can actually have that kind of volume as it breaks through 3.9 area. So we'll see. It's thinking about breaking out here. See what it can do. Might have to kill off this Tops trade. Not loving what it's doing. Could still break out like crazy. I mean, that's what this thing does. But I think I'm going to flatten this sucker. Yeah, I'll take my $40 loss and walk away. All right, here it goes. Cancel that. See if we get this fill on this 1,000. Where we got that at? $4 exactly. Usually good to be a little bit below 4. There she goes. All right, so still have 1,000 in this. Put my stop right about here. Break even. Good. All right, so now my stop's at break even. We got some cash off the table. Looks good here for a continued run, and here's where, like, either it's going to come back down, stop me out, and I'll still have a profit, or it will come up and break this 407 resistance area and then retest its recent high from a few days back of about 485, which I think they hit that in pre-market, so it might test it closer to 4.5. But still, there's potential for it to really rally from here. I mean, a lot of volume coming in. Very bullish move here. So let's see how she does. All right, another one of my favorite symbols here, SPHS, just popped up. I just grabbed 1,000 shares of that one as well. Now that's another example, like I was saying, where it has those runs where you can see here, if I zoom out even more, pops, goes sideways for a while, pops huge, bores traders to death, pops, bores traders to death. And here it is, it's obviously showing some bottoming pattern here that's gone sideways in this range for a really long time. So $3 is what the market thinks is fair value for now, and it's also the high over back here, and it's a round number. So a lot of things going for it there to show support here. Another thing, just a really low float again here. 17.3 pushing towards the high. All right, SPHS is breaking out to that high, new high of the day here. Markets are looking pretty weak though right now, so we'll see if this can buck the trend. Got to sell for half of it, just above 3.2. Might lower that down a little bit if volume starts to dry up at all. Might hesitate a little bit at 3.2, but I'm hoping that it hits it and pops a little bit above 3.2. Fills that order for us here. Let's see. All right, took a while, but it looks like SPHS is finally going to give us a shot getting filled here. Give you a report on those other stocks I traded. I was able to close those out, both around $200 in gains each. So let's just watch how this one plays out. This one has a tendency to run pretty quick into the close. So it's about 314 right now. All right, it's really close here. I'm looking to give this a shot. Obviously, again, 320 is a round number. Tends to be a resistance area because a lot of people put their orders right at that point. And move this down to 319. Yep, that worked. 319 fell. Okay, cool. So I still have 1,000 left in it. There it goes. I'm going to put a stop down here for that other 1,000. Looks like we're getting that run into the close here. Very strong bid. A lot of people betting that this is going to go up into the end of the day. Of course, it could go either way. That's why I sold 2/3 of it, holding on to 1/3 still. Alright, just watch and see what this does until the close. Got about 7 minutes left. Definite resistance area here, but if it breaks out of that, 3.6 is pretty easy. Alright, so we got about 2 seconds left here. And that's that. See how that does into tomorrow, and see how it goes.